you've been following me a while, I have done a lot of Little Mermaid content. If you've been following me a while, you've seen me do a lot of Little Mermaid content on this channel. I have the last video that we've seen Little Mermaid wise was reviewing the animated version, reviewing all three of the movies, reviewing the TV, ranking the TV show. Now, I think this might be the last Little Mermaid content I have, unless they want to come out with a second movie and make Ariel have her daughter Melody, or they could have Melody and she could have a son. Like, let's make it 2 kids, you know? But we're just going to get into this. This is my live action review with thoughts. So I loved what they did with this movie's most parts. There are some parts that I did not like, which we'll find out if you keep watching. I loved what they put at the beginning of the movie, the quote from the actual book. You know, I have not read the Hans book because Ariel doesn't get to have a good ending. She, in the book, turns into foam because she does not get the prince to say she loves her or kisses her like the movie, but that's it. She just turns to the foam. So I don't know if anybody knew that. And the quote that they use is, but it says, but a mermaid has no tears, and therefore she suffers so much more. And we see Eric on the boat with his crew, and he's not the one doing this, but they are trying to catch a mermaid, or thought they were catching a mermaid, and it was freaking, it was a dolphin. It was a dolphin. I know a lot of people have been saying maybe they don't like the live action because of who played her, or she was, or they complain about her hair. When kids watch that movie, they did not care about that. Okay, I've seen a lot of little people, or they don't like her for those reasons. I'm like, wow, y'all that racist that y'all don't, or like you wanted her to stay true to the character. Like, she is a mermaid. She's not a real person, okay? She's not a real person. So it didn't matter who played Ariel. Somebody was going to complain anyway. Okay, so the first scenes with Prince Eric, I did not care for the singing. Not gonna lie, thought Prince Eric's was cute. I thought it was cute, okay? And Crispy doesn't want him acting all wild. You know, they're trying to get him in line for his next thing, and he keeps thinking about the ocean, the ocean. So like he kept thinking about the ocean, and Ariel keeps thinking about land, you know? So I guess they were a matchmate. And Eric is and then Eric's telescope falls in the water, and we see all of Ariel's sisters. I just have one question. Was their mother like different? Like, I don't know how they explained that, because there's black ones and Asian ones and this and the third. So I'm assuming, like, were they mixed or something? Not that it matters, but were they mixed? Because how did that all work? And then I loved King Triton's entrance. He was hot too. He came in like this. And I kind of do the only thing I wish they would have kept the names of her sisters, because they completely changed the names, but I understand why. And I kind of missed the part how they were actually having a concert and singing. They were not doing that. And I think of course, her sisters were older than her because she was younger, but I also felt like her sisters did not live in the same place. I felt like they lived in different parts of the ocean, the seven seas, and they were doing different things. And of course, they're just talking to their dad, and of course, Ariel is missing. And then we see Sebastian. His little eyes scared me. It scared me the first time I saw it in the theater. Oh, by the way, I did see it in the theater like a week or two after it came out back in 2023. If you wanted to watch the vlog, I'll put it right here. I'll put it in the description if you want to watch it. Ariel finds the telescope, and I didn't like how they made Flounder. He looked very pale. Like, it was a very pale yellow. It was a very pale blue, and I didn't like it. I wanted the brighter colors that I grew up watching them as a kid, you know. Ariel always loved to explore. Halle did an amazing job playing Ariel for the most part. And her tail was so pretty. It was very pretty. And then she finds the trident, Dingle Hopper. And I honestly hated when I was watching the movie in the theater. Mind you, I've seen this movie like 15 times since then. And they made her a girl. I was like, why? Why couldn't she had been a boy like she already was? And she kind of annoyed me at first and then grew on me. And then while I was watching it just now, she annoyed me again because she's kind of stupid. You know, she's a stupid bird. And the shark scene was true to the scene, almost. And it was different to see Scuttle in the water instead of above the surface. Then we see Melissa McCartney as Ursula. And she did a decent job for the most part. OG Ursula, may she rest in peace, would be proud. And I love that they switched it. I think they made her aunt, like Ariel's aunt, I think. And there was like some sibling rivalry. And, you know, she wanted the trident, but it was given to him instead, I think. That was a different twist. But Flounder, just like the OG, he's over here snitching. It's like, yeah, we saw shipwrecks, and then there was a shark, and then Triton was like, oh, you just can't listen to me. You can't just listen to me. And mad because I loved Sebastian's accent, and he was mad because, of course, he had to follow Ariel. Then we see all of Ariel's treasures and troves. It's all around. It's a lot. And then we see her sing Part of Your World. She did sing it a little differently, but hey, it was almost true to the original, but I liked it. Okay, some people really like these live action movies to stay very, very true to the movie, which it mostly did. They did add some stuff. Don't get me started on Snow White, because I heard things about Snow White from people who saw it, and the live action Snow White, and it sucked. That's what I heard. I don't really like Snow White like that. Y'all know I don't. I don't really care for her. I mean, her little dress is cute, but that's neither here nor there. Okay? And I was mesmerized by Halle singing it. And that song Prince Eric sings is probably the only song that I like that he sings. Yes, I didn't like Prince Eric singing in the movie like that. Like in the animated movie, he don't sing like that. His birthday party, and then the shipwreck happened, and you know Eric fell overboard, and Ariel rescued him. And then we see the artistry of the human world, where Eric is there with his mother, and it was beautiful. Then the second rendition of the Part of Your World where she creeps up onto the rock, love that. And then it was Melissa. Why did she say prawn and not pawn? Pawn in her game, prawn in her game. Did she say prawn because she's in the ocean? And Ariel's not afraid of the humans. She's not afraid at all. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Halle. This was the only time I did not like Halle singing. She's a great singer. But her singing along with Sebastian on Under the Sea did not work for me, because she's like, and he's like, under the waves, just under the water, I didn't like you. And she's like, under the sea. Like in the animated version, she was not singing during that part. She was just swimming around. Like, I don't know why they had her do that. But no, I did not like that. And I felt that was Sebastian's song to sing by himself. And that made me really mad when I was watching it in the theater the first time. I was like, this is not how I remember that song. Why is she singing with him? And I just felt like it wasn't needed for her to sing in that scene. I felt like it wasn't needed. Meanwhile, back on land, Prince Eric's mother, which was a surprising switch, because I think it was his father, or father and mother. I don't know. I can't remember. You know, do that. And it gets on him for wanting to explore the ocean. That's what she does. She's like, you're supposed to be getting married, this, that, and the third. But he's like, I want to explore the ocean. I want to explore the ocean. And here comes a song that I hated the most of the movie, Uncharted Waters. Again, why did they have Prince Eric sing? I hate that song. And he didn't have to sing. I skip it. Every time I see that scene, I skipped it while I was watching it. Like, I don't want to watch him sing. I'm sorry. And then Ariel loves to talk back. She loves to talk back to her daddy. And her sisters are all talking to each other. It's like, maybe she found her, like, a little merman, and maybe she doesn't want to hang around us anymore because, you know, she's getting older. And Triton smiles when he thinks it's a merman, but it's not. And Ariel is about to get in trouble with her daddy. He destroys everything. And it was definitely more intense in this version of the movie than the animated version, because he was like, no, 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 pew, 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 you know? And then she goes to see her auntie Ursula. I'm not sure if she knows that was her auntie or not, but yeah. And her lair is scarier because, like, we actually see a dead mermaid and, like, skulls and everything. Like, in the animated version, it's like these little weird little things. If y'all saw the review of the animated one, you know what I'm talking about. And then one of my favorite songs in the movie, even though it was sung very differently, I don't know, do y'all feel like Melissa McCartney could sing? She can act her little butt off, but singing, I don't know, it was up to par. I don't know. But it still sounded decent. It sounded decent. But then Flounder and Sebastian came, and then she tells Ariel what she has to do. And this was different from the original. I don't remember her having to, like, take a piece of her tail and the scale and basically put it in her potion. I do not remember that at all. And not only did she have to do that, but she also gave her voice. But of course, Ursula with herself threw in a twist, which I can't remember at this very moment. And then she comes out of the water and she can't walk, so of course she stumbled and fell. Scuttle is kind of stupid. Scuttle is kind of stupid. She is a little idiotic and stupid. And I felt for Sebastian calling her an idiot because that's basically plainly what she was. She was a freaking idiot, okay? And the vibe of the above world was different, but I liked it. One of my main complaints was they did Ariel dirty. Like, what was those dresses? They had her wearing pretty dress. I get that it's different because some parts of the movie are not the same, but y'all could have gave her a better dress. I did not like that dress. I liked her in her tail form better in those dresses. Okay. And I loved Halle's song for the first time. Some of the things they added into the movie worked, but others didn't. But this part worked. Because in the animated version, we don't hear her singing. We just, it's like, do, 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 some sort of music like that. And a funny moment for me in the movie, when they give her the soap, and of course she doesn't know because she's a mermaid. She lives underwater. She ate the soap. I know after that take, I don't know if they gave her like a fake candy soap or whatever, but either way, she might have spit that out. And then the little shoes were cute. Again, what I said, they could have did better with the dress. I think that Prince Eric thought he might have found her in Ariel, but she couldn't talk, so he wasn't sure. And Ariel's getting to explore a little his world and all his little things. Halle was having too. Ariel was having a little too much fun with that globe because she kept spinning it around. And then we see his cute little mermaid, you know? And Ariel's into his collecting because, of course, she has to collect. And Eric was like, no, no. And then she dropped it and she showed him like this little thing that was inside. I think he thought she was intentionally going to break it. And I wonder why, well, maybe because mermaids don't write underwater. She didn't just write her name and tell him. Just thought. And Eric was terrible at it. There was like this little shell, and she was doing it because, you know, she's underwater. She knows. And he was terrible at it. And that part with the horse was cute. Then one of my other favorite parts of the movie, when we got to see Jodie Benson, aka animated Ariel, and Halle Berry, live action Ariel, meet. I loved that. It was a cute little scene. And the way they started looking at her when she put the fork in her hair, and then she had the nerve to set it back down. Like, she don't know better because she's a mermaid. But like, Miss OG Ariel can't use that now. You used it in your hair. And Ariel sure can't walk fast for somebody who hasn't been on land long because she was trying to absorb it all in. I mean, she only had 3 days to absorb it all in. So she had to take it in. And okay, the Kiss the Girl scene. Loved it. But I didn't really like Sebastian singing this one. Like the Sebastian, my favorite Sebastian will always be Samuel Wright. May he R.I.P. as well. Like, he was my favorite. Then maybe the musical one, then this one. Because, like, the Sebastian was hit and miss. And I'm trying to remember what Scuttle singing with Sebastian on the animated one. And it was cute the way she told him his name, her name. She was like, Ariel, Ariel, you know? It was cute. And then Scuttle ruined the moment. It's like, damn, you did that? And Rhea's Last Dragon, like, you were better there, Aquafina, than you were here. Because here, you were an annoying character. You were annoying. And then the stupid eels, you know, flip the boat over. And Ursula's making her a potion or whatever to make herself human. Then Triton is trying to find Ariel back under the sea. And Eric is looking on. And then there's a scene where we hear Ariel's voice as Vanessa. And then, you know, during this part, I think I missed that part. Because we see Halle sing la di di la da da la da da la da da la di 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 or something like that, and Ursula comes out in the mirror and says ha ha ha, and then Scuttle sees and she runs. I'm sorry, I keep calling him he. Okay, she runs and she's like, do you want to hear about that scuttlebutt? Like, okay, I feel like personally you could have just told her like they did in the original. But of course they wanted to make a song out of it. Looking back now, I feel like the singing part was not needed. The song is catchy, but it wasn't needed. Again, it worked musically, but it was not needed. And he is standing, so they tell her, and she gets up, and he was standing, and then Ariel sees from behind a pillar, and he's standing right next to Vanessa. I think he knew in his heart it wasn't her, but he didn't seem sure. And Ariel looks devastated. So she goes to sit on the rock. And she's singing, risking it all. You know, whatever. Y'all, if you've seen it, you know. And I loved it all. I'm sorry. I'm a Halle fan. I can't help it. I like Halle Bailey, okay? I like her. And Scuttle is an idiot, just dropping her. Vanessa, Jessica, she didn't have that many lines, and I don't know if she's been in anything since. I don't know. Skull comes in to save the day. He grabs Vanessa's hair. Eric drops the ring. Grimsby saw the ring. He moved it over. The animals are attacking her. Max is helping this and the third because nobody like her. Ain't nobody like her. And Ariel and Vanessa, Ursula, get into attack. Ariel grabs the necklace, breaks it. In the animated version, though, Max is grabbing on her, and the necklace falls off of her. Then it lands in front of her. So that was different. It's like she's saving her own self, you know? And they're all looking amazing, and just like that, the voice is like, oh, and then it goes back into her, and the sun is setting behind them. They're talking a little too much, so just kiss already and get over with. And this was different. They hear the bones crack. I kind of like that. That was different. And she has her tail back. And Vanessa is like, get away from her. And then she turns back into Ursula. And I think she has said something like, it's too late. It's too late. And then they fall. Ariel and Ursula, they fall. And that was a long ass fall. Okay, it was very long. And his mom said, no, but he loves her. Don't go to her. And Grimsby knows that too. Ursula and Ariel go down. Triton finds them. Ursula's story this time around is different. I think in the animated one, she just wanted to be Queen Ursula or whatever. But in this one, she's kind of jealous of her brother, I guess, right? Brother? Is that what it was? Yeah. And she just wants to see them suffer because she wanted the Triton for herself. Ariel tries to get away, but the eels get her. Triton gives Ursula his Triton, and the eels get Triton. And just like that, her father is gone. Ariel is sad. Ariel wants to get her. Eric comes down there. And this part really bugged me. When they blast her little eel friends, float them, jazz them, and she's like, my babies. She's like, no. In the animated version, she's like, my poor little poopsies. You know, you said it wrong. I'm sorry, but y'all shouldn't have changed that line because it was so. Ugh. And then Ariel and Eric get away, but she has to Triton. This part where she got bigger and they made her bigger, that scared me. When I was watching it in the movie theater, mind you, it was dark in there. I was scared. And I was scared watching it when I was just watching it a freaking hour ago, you know? And it was scary this time watching it around as well. They made her look really creepy. She blasts the Triton at him. Arrows on the boat. And she aims the Trident, aims the boat at Ursula. And she's like, no. She tries to grab Ariel. Ariel escapes. Ariel was going to help Eric, but she was like, do I go to Eric or to Triton? She chose her daddy. Wise choice. And she went down. And he is back. She hands it to him, and she was like, you gave up your life for me. And he's like, but you fought for my life to get me back. And he's still not budging on her, going back to the human world. Eric goes back to land, and, things go back to how they were before. King Triton does everything in his power for his kingdom, for his daughters, to make them happy. And then Sebastian tells him not quite. And, Triton was like, I'm going to have to I only have one problem. I'm still going to miss my little one. That's not exactly what he said in the animated version, or whatever. And Ariel's back on land. They hug, they kiss, and turn to their wedding. Again, I love Ariel's wedding dress in the animated version. I hated that dress. Like, yeah, it was a cute pink dress, but I get why they had her in that dress because of what was about to happen next. But I still don't like that dress. And they find her little mermaid, okay? And they go off on their own journey and uncharted waters. We see both of their worlds. I cry every time I see this part. And the credits always make you want to stay. They look pretty. That's it. Y'all know Ariel is my favorite. I love the live action movie. It's actually one of my favorites that Disney has done. But there's some things they messed up on. So I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10. But I always come back to watch it every time. If there's a Disney princess that you would like to see me rank, I think before this went up, I think I reviewed Princess Tiana's movie. But if there's any other ones y'all want to see, let me know.